Hey everyone, welcome back. As promised, here is our Victory Road review. With me once again, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling.
I thought you were introducing yourself there.
No, I'm hardly folklore legend.
That's you.
Folklore
the cult legend.
But this time we are talking Impact Wrestling. Once again, it seems like they're putting out another good show every week. This time we have Victory Road. This was a pay-per-view proper, featured a lot of returns, and it also served as a build-up to something we're going to review next week, which is Impact's 1000th episode. We're going to review that because that's, a big occasion. Not many wrestling programs get. I don't even think WCW got to 1,000. Nitro, I don't think.
They might have, but it would have been continuing from like the JCP days, like it like as a condensed.
No, I'm talking about actual
item.
Monday Nitro.
Just like Nitro. No, I don't think it did.
So,
but Impact's been around for how long? Since like 2005.
Earlier, I think 2002. They've been around for 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? WCW only existed for like 10 years.
Yeah, if even. Yeah. I think 94 to.
What was the latest? What's the Raw at?
Raw's at almost 1,600 episodes.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. But Raw came out, 92, 93?
I think 93.
Yeah. So Raw's been around for I remember when it used to be on the new VR here in Toronto.
No, Raw was my introduction to wrestling.
Monday Night Raw. On TSN?
On TSN. No.
On the new VR.
On the new VR.
Yeah. When it was like 1 hour.
Yeah.
Times have changed. And
it was on a weekend too, right?
No, they would air it live. It started off on Saturday nights, but on post, like they would have it like pre-taped. But then after a while, because of the popularity, they started showing it live on Monday nights.
Okay, yeah.
Because the new VR, I think, used to have the Canadian rights to Monday Night Football, but then they lost it.
The new VR, that's classic. What a good channel. Channel 20.
Channel 20 from Barrie.
And anyways, we've gone way off topic.
Remember during the week they would have they were the ones with Power Rangers and Beetleborgs.
They in the early morning their lineup. I used to get up at like 6 a.m. and watch Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, and then Power Rangers. I think played all in a row because they had the rights to like the Power Rangers reruns from the very beginning.
Yeah, and they had the other one, the Samurai with Joey Lawrence. The one Joey Lawrence. No, not Joey Lawrence. Matthew Lawrence.
Yeah. It was all the ripoffs of Power Rangers and then Power Rangers.
Yeah. Super Samurai something squad or whatever.
But shout out to Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yes. Bring back Samurai Pizza Cats and Biker Mice from Mars.
There you go. Double it up with the cats.
That's it. But I digress. We are going to go right into our review then. The pre-show started off with Alan Angels holding an open challenge, and who should come out? 52-year-old little Guido himself. It was good to see little Guido, and
I shared it with you right when I saw it because I wasn't watching it live. I was like, holy crap. And I mean, he's still ripped, but he has like a really strange look to him where his legs and his arms are so skinny, but his upper body is still like muscular.
Chiseled? Yeah. He looks like that uncle you bring to the summer party at the
he's the uncle that gets drunk with you and talks shit about what he used to do.
Exactly. The Italian Uncle Rico.
Hey, I fought a trucker once. You know that? Shout out to Uncle Tony.
Cousin Tony, really, for me, but he's your uncle.
Same guy.
Tony's a legend. But I mean, it was a good match. Like little Guido at 52, whatever he is, can still go. Like this card featured a lot of like older talent.
I think this is like we haven't been far off, but we haven't really been agreeing that much in the last little bit. I mean, like we're not, like I said, we're not that far off. But I think this show, at the end of the day, regardless of how any of us feel about this, it was one of the more entertaining shows that's aired recently for wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, and this is the use of an older wrestler used properly. We'll talk about something a little later that
in the right environment.
Yes,
this was the right place for him to come back.
Yeah. A simple, quick squash match to Alan Angels. It puts Alan Angels over by beating, somewhat of a legend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ECW, he was.
I mean, he's a wrestling legend. I wouldn't say he's one of the great wrestlers.
Well-established wrestler.
Like I think everyone knows who he is.
Yeah. Little Guido.
Yeah.
But
FBI shout out.
exactly. Then we're going to go into our next match, which was a tag match. My first thought was why it's Ace Austin and Chris Bay against Moose and Brian Myers. They have to force these guys on every show, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, but they did it the right way this way. I mean,
Yes.
this time in the pre-show,
Again,
because
in the
it doesn't
pre-show,
deserve to
but the
be on
problem
the
is
main card.
ABC was on the pre-show,
But
though.
the thing is, I think I'm starting to understand their logic a bit more here from Impact. So if you can't have a really good, some like their most featured people, right? Like if you watch
Right.
their pay-per-views, unlike other companies, their pay-per-views are always about getting their most popular people onto the show. And
Right.
if ABC doesn't have a match, and Moose, I guess, is very popular, doesn't have a match, they have to create a match for them.
Yeah.
But also by putting ABC on the pre-show is going to help them sell pay-per-views, because people are going to see an actually really good match, right? You got Guido, which is like, oh, look, a callback, right? And then you also got ABC, which is like, oh, look, this is a really good match. I'm going to buy this pay-per-view.
I'm actually going to, if you're in the area, I'm going to go to the show because, hey, ABC's on the card.
Right. And Victory Road should be done in this way. I think, I feel like this is one Bound for Glory and Slammiversary. They need to be in bigger environments, in bigger cities where with the crowd is more lively. And I think this worked. It felt like a big show for Impact.
And they filmed which the review will be out next week, like I said, but they filmed Impact 1000 the next day in that same arena. So that again is going to feel like a big special show.
And it should.
Yeah,
it should. Impact is at this point the longest running mainstream wrestling show in North America that's not WWE.
Yeah, it's true. They are.
Because Ring of Honor left for a bit.
Yeah. I think even Ring of Honor even started a little later than Impact. So
WCW didn't last that long.
No.
JCP turned into WCW, I think, before they hit 20 years.
Yeah, so it's like...
And NWA was never a real wrestling show.
But the thing is, that's the thing too, the longevity of this company and what they've been through over the last 10 years, ownership problems, bankruptcy claims, like they've been through a lot of shit in the last 10 years.
I understand now why Scott D'Amore felt like he needed to do this. Like, it makes sense to me. This is letting this die is the equivalent of letting ECW or WCW die. Like it's just, if I was WWE, I would have kept ECW running how it was with just a little bit more budget. And
kind of like what AEW is doing with like what AEW is doing with Ring of Honor, basically.
But the thing with Ring of Honor is it feels like AEW, but it's self-contained still in a way. So I give them credit for that. It's more like how DDT exists and Noah doesn't have like any they don't do anything to it. Noah just
they're under that one.
Exist.
Yeah, they're under that, and Joshi Pro, they're all under that one umbrella. Makes sense. But you're right, though. This was them being used in the right situation. I love watching Chris Bay, like just the way he was like outplaying Moose, outsmarting him. Like he was just like, Chris Bay really shined in this match.
I forgot we were talking about this match, but yeah, it was a pretty good match. This is how you use Moose properly. You put him in a match to be just a big guy to take a beating, and I liked it. It worked.
And now ABC are like the giant killers, right? Like it legitimizes ABC a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
So with that, we are going into the main card proper. The main show starts, and we are kicked off by Kushida cashing in his Ultimate X, whatever you want to call it, to go against Lio Rush for a singles match for the X Division Championship. This X Division this division is getting good now again.
Yeah, it is, because we've minimized the amount of non-important / valuable wrestlers that are taking part in it. The Digital Media Championship division has removed all of the unimportant people out of the X Division.
Yeah,
and I think that's working.
It is. Totally is. And we got to see Lio Rush against Kushida. This was like a great way to start the show. Like anytime you have Kushida on the card, it's great. Like the only thing is, like we keep saying with Kushida, they haven't given him anything to run with yet. No X Division, no championship, nothing.
And he's been weirdly like the secondary addition to certain groups and stuff. And then Impact has this issue with factions. Like there's no real factions in Impact, and When they have them, they separate them very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think that
But I
it's
mean, you
just
kind of got this little faction right now with like Kushida, the Machine Guns, and
but how
Kevin
long is
Knight.
it going to last? Because they don't reference it very often.
No, and they don't even like, yes, Kushida when he was with Alex Shelley, they were the time splitters. And with Chris Sabin, they call themselves Time Machine, Machine Guns, Time, right? They
Yeah.
combine, but they don't have a name with Kevin Knight, and Kevin Knight kind of, but technically he's not part of Impact.
Well,
He just kind of
he's
he's
has a
part of
name with Kushida. I don't remember what it is.
Jet Setters.
Jet Setters, yeah.
Yeah. But
So
but he's not technically part of Impact, right? He's still with New Japan Strong.
I don't know anymore. Like the lines of what belongs to Impact and what doesn't is so blurred right now because Uemura is apparently still part of New Japan, but he also is contracted to Impact.
He's on what they call excursion.
Yeah, but I believe he signed some kind of long-term contract with Impact now, even though
So
he's still under contract as well with New Japan. I
okay.
don't know. Well, we'll have to look it up, but
Yeah.
it's like I was trying to read about it and I was getting really confused.
Yeah.
Like I know, and he's old for excursion.
Yeah. He's been around for a while, Uemura. But I mean, this was a really good match, though. Like it was, I'm sure the feud will continue because it was kind of like a cheap win by Lio Rush. So even though he loses the cash in, I'm sure this. I don't mind having another match with Lio Rush and Kushida. Maybe Kushida coming up top, create some tension again within the guns too. So Chris
Yeah,
Sabin.
it's okay. So here's the thing. I'll just talk about this match quickly because I feel like we already finished it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was way too
Mhm.
short.
Yeah,
And
that seems like the trend for these last few reviews. All the matches have been short.
we keep getting, and that's going to keep going here, and I'm going to keep complaining about it. We keep getting the matches with Kushida where he comes in, he immediately locks in a hoverboard lock. It
Mhm.
gets broken up, then he does the greatest hits, and then either he locks up one more hoverboard lock and wins, or he loses.
Yeah,
And he's so much better than that, and I don't know why we're doing this with him.
yeah. At
But
this point,
it's not like the match was bad.
yeah. But I mean, at this point in his career, though, he's moved to the U.S. The guy's 40. He's not like a, So at this point in his career, does he really need, or is he there more to put people over?
I don't know. I feel like he's still in
He's
a
still got a
position,
lot more to give.
especially in Impact. He's like one of your top stars. So
Yeah,
to not have him getting stuff out of it, right? Like in AEW, Sting is not one of the top guys. So I understand why his position is to do what he's doing.
yeah.
Like popularity, yeah, he's popular, but he's not one of the top guys. Kushida's one of the top guys and he's popular. I don't know. You know what I'm
Kind of
saying?
like a Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not on the level of, let's say, like a Cody Rhodes that they're doing nothing with, but he's more on the Drew level. He's a popular guy. He's one of the top, easily top 10 on the roster.
Yeah, well, Sheamus is a guy who should be putting people over because he
Yeah,
still has clout, but he's not a top guy anymore.
yeah, exactly. I kind of agree with that. But like you said, again, this match too short. Seems like the trend of and then going on to the next match, we have kind of a rematch from that four-way match we had last week, which was MK Ultra defending the Impact Tag Team Championships against Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans.
And this is another case of this match was way too short. It was like
Yeah,
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Was it actually?
It was 8 minutes and 12 seconds. I have the times in front of me.
When the match ended, I was like, that was like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
I
and
swear
it was
I
one of
didn't
those
look.
surprise ends too. Like it just all of a sudden the match is over. Like what just happened?
Yeah, it just was like snowplow, and then the thing ended. But
Yeah, it's like as soon as they don't give you enough time. Once you start getting into the match, you're like, okay, now I'm invested. And it's like,
okay, and I
it's
know
over.
I will talk about this more later because I think I want to flesh out what's happening before we talk about that. But I thought it was a fine match.
Yeah,
It's like Giselle works in any situation.
yeah.
And
She's become a decent talent, like a good. In the wrestling industry, it's called a good hand, right? Like someone who can work with
but not the
anybody.
good hands.
No, someone who can work with anybody, someone that can make you look good in a match. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she may not be championship material just yet, but she's gonna be there soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's not going to be like a 7-time knockout champion, but
She may win one.
she's going to be someone who wins one,
Yeah.
you know?
And what I like too is just because she's Scott D'Amore's wife, it's not he's not pushing her. He's not like, you know what I mean? Like you would think they'd be
No,
like,
she's using to enhance people, and I
yeah,
think that's correct.
it's smart, very smart. It made Killer Kelly and Masha look amazing in this
Yeah, they
match.
did a lot for Deanna in
Yeah,
previous before this.
yeah, that four-way match she was involved
It
with
helped Trinity a
Deanna
bit.
and with Deanna and Julia.
Yeah, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
Good
way
match, too short.
too short. Exactly. Next we have MK Ultra obviously retains. Let's move on from that. Next we have Crazy Steve against Black Taurus.
So I hate that they started all of a sudden calling him Taurus. I know that's obviously how it's pronounced for them, but it's just, can we just call him Black Taurus? Because that's like literally what his name is.
Yeah. Mantar.
It's confusing because everyone called him that for like 5 years, and now all of a sudden we're changing the pronunciation of it.
Think since what's his name took over, Tom Hannafin and Matt Raywald took over commentating, I think they're using the proper names, they're using proper terms, like, you know what I mean? So they want to get back into like, and speaking of which, these two were fantastic on the show tonight.
Yeah, Toros is very good.
Yeah.
We already seen him a few times. We know that he can go.
Yeah, former X
especially
Division
that giant stupid helmet that he has. Like,
how does he wrestle in that
crazy.
stupid thing? Yeah. He's a bigger version of the guy who used to be in WWE, El Torito.
Yeah, there you go, nailed it. But Crazy Steve right now is one of the coolest characters that they have. Like, legitimately, I'm not even joking. I just wish, like, if you notice from the package, they started going a dark angle with him again, and I don't like when Impact does dark angles.
No,
they should have just left him as a crazy person. Why does he have to have magic powers? Like, I don't understand.
If you left him like as like that, like the mental institution patient kind of thing, like, you know what I mean? Like,
have him be like a Joker where he mentally corrupts people. He doesn't have magic powers to like,
because what they were doing with the commentator Tom Hannafin, you know how they were playing, he was like playing psychological mind games with him kind of thing, making him afraid. Like, you know, that's the kind of stuff I like to watch. That's the kind of stuff that interests me. But him being magical is not
still don't know where Taya Valkyrie is.
Yeah. No. Eventually she'll be back with Father James Mitchell.
Oh God.
He's gonna resurrect her like the way they did with Eric Young.
Please don't.
But Crazy Steve goes over. I mean, that's fine. Like, it's a good push for Crazy Steve. I don't know where they're going to go with it, maybe, but because the next match kind of defeats the purpose of everything. Because we're going into Tommy Dreamer versus Kenny King for the Digital Media Championship. If Tommy Dreamer, it's title versus career, basically. So if Tommy Dreamer loses, he has to retire. So what does that mean? Tommy Dreamer is winning.
Yeah, but you know what? It was the right time. It was the right place. It felt good. It was a feel-good moment. And this is honestly one of the better wrestled Tommy Dreamer matches in like the last couple of years.
So you think, again, right use of Tommy Dreamer in this situation?
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be used to put somebody over.
Maybe someone like Bhupinder?
Hopefully. Or Uemura or...
Well, Uemura's now in that really cool Yoya.
Hey, let him win something. I don't care where he wins.
I want them to win the tag belts. Give Yoya the tag belts. I want to see that.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's space. There's space for someone here to win, and let them do it.
Yeah, do like what they do with, like, you know, whenever a veteran wins, they usually do like an open challenge every week. Hey, this week I'm, you know, open challenge whoever wants to come out. I think they're building up to something with Heath, because him and Heath were kind of like acting all buddy at the end of the show, at the end of the match kind of thing. So I think maybe there's something going to be going on with Heath, which is fine. Heath needs something to do.
Or you're going to bring Rhino back and they're going to both beat up Tommy Dreamer and it's going to turn into like a thing.
An ECW versus ECW. Tommy's going to bring back Raven.
Maybe he'll get somebody. He'll get like Guido or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, Tommy Dreamer goes over. He, you know, if he would have lost, he would have had to retire. And we all know Tommy Dreamer is not retiring yet. I think this was more of a match for Tommy Dreamer to have to commemorate Terry Funk more than anything.
Yeah,
because he pulled a lot of Terry Funk moves in this match.
It was in New York. He's from New York.
Yeah, it made sense. I'm not too upset about it. And this is one of the matches
we also didn't care for Kenny King having the belt in the first place.
No, we don't just care. We just don't care for Kenny King, period. Like,
yeah, sorry.
Nothing interests me in Kenny King. I apologize for that, but like, sorry, Kenny King, you're not there anymore.
He's what's Carmelo's Mello Hayes
Trick Williams.
He's Trick Williams, and then his partner is like the lower tier Trick Williams.
So it's not even Trick Williams, it's below Trick Williams.
Yeah, it's Trick Williams, and below Trick Williams is who Kenny King is. Sorry, shout out to Trick Williams.
He needs to go too. But yeah, this was one of the longer matches on the card, and it was fine. For what it was, I was okay with it too. Like, it wasn't anything bad. Next we have the return of Jordynne Grace against Deonna Purrazzo. The whole story behind this was Deonna has never lost to Jordynne.
What's the match length here?
This one was 12 minutes, almost 12 minutes.
Okay. It's
11:50
short. So yeah. I'll cut it off at this point of like short matches.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of found it weird that you had from the start of the show all the way till now just a bunch of really quick matches.
Yeah.
And even if they were slightly longer, nothing much was happening in the extra time that it went past the other short matches.
Right.
So I don't know what the plan was here, but in all of these matches, including this one, which we have a backstory to this, it didn't really let any story develop in the ring. Nothing. It was just a super quick match and it was over.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, this match, sorry to cut you off, but this match was telling the story about how Jordynne Grace never beat Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
Spoiler, Jordynne Grace wins this match. Do you think if Deonna were champ, it would have meant more for Jordynne to beat her?
Yes, and I also will continue that story later, but I think the funny part was during the match here, there was no story. Even though we had a story. It was and
it was a good in-ring match too.
Every match so far has, like I said, it's been entertaining. I've enjoyed them. But when it comes to outside of the Raw wrestling in the ring, it's like there was no time to tell any stories.
Yeah.
I mean, this match did have the time, but just didn't really tell us. It was kind of like, oh, look, Jordynne Grace never beat Deonna. Oh, she won. Now time to move on.
Right?
Because I don't think they're not fighting again.
No. Where do they both go from here now?
Jordynne Grace is going to go fight Trinity and win. Okay. And Deonna Purrazzo is going to be pushed back down to female wrestling hell until they need her again.
Until Jordynne Grace gets hurt and they need somebody to win.
Or they're going to make her form a tag team that's eventually going to win the belts.
Unless, spoiler for Impact 1000, but Mickie James returns on that show.
Yeah, who knows? Let's see.
But yeah, so we'll see from there. But Jordynne Grace wins. It was a good in-ring match, like you said. There was a story, but it didn't really feel like a story.
Yeah, it wasn't like a well-told. Like there was a background story, but nothing.
Yeah. Like progressed. I said, if Deonna had the belt and Jordynne finally beats her for the belt, that would have been a better story. That would have been a bigger story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have. But we go on. Next we go PCO against Bully Ray. They've been telling the story the whole night from the beginning of the show when Bully Ray hits PCO with the car, when they're looking for each other backstage. They were doing like little segments. So they were already kind of starting the match before the match started, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was fun because they kept calling him, "You're a human, you're a man, Pierre Carl Ouellette."
You're Pierre. Yeah, that's right. Bully Ray kept calling him Pierre Carl Ouellette.
And I like that. This match was fun. The story leading up to it was fun. I think we finally actually let a story play out in the ring.
Yeah,
as stupid as it was.
And this one was also a match that didn't suffer from being a little shorter.
No, and I think it worked well. I think there was a lot of good in-ring work here.
Yeah, Santino with the Cobra.
Yeah, the table not breaking, getting the spot again. This is one thing though, and I noticed this a few times throughout this match, that anytime something like had to be done,
they go redo the spot.
They'd either redo the spot or Bully
would automatically
move himself into position. Okay, he just went through a table. PCO tried to set up the table, couldn't, so started looking around for something else. While he was doing that, Bully Ray got up off the floor and tried to set up the table, and tried to set up the table, and then
but if you notice, the table leg was bent. So
that's why PCO let it go, right? He realized, and that's why Bully didn't.
Then PCO grabbed the table and he put it in the corner and put Bully Ray through the corner.
And see, the funny part was that's how the match was supposed to end, but because the table didn't break, they had to break it again, which boggles my mind that Bully just got up, set up the table, and then was dead after that. And then he also got thrown into one corner and then walked his ass from one corner over to the other corner and just put himself against the ropes.
I don't know. Maybe when you're so dizzy that you don't know where you're moving to.
But it's like it's his natural wrestling mind was working too high. Yeah. Instead of like trying to sell the story, he was just like, "Oh, I got to be in this spot."
Yeah, and it's good. The way the finish was good too. Like, you know, we get our typical plunder spots too. This was like an anything goes match, right? Hardcore match, basically a street fight type of match. We get our usual plunder spots, that kind of stuff. We got our trash cans, we get our kendo sticks, right? We get all that. But it was good that they finished this story. Finish the story. PCO gets the win.
Yeah, so and hopefully it's over.
This feud is done because on Impact 1000, it's already been announced Devon Dudley's coming back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but the story's not over because they're probably gonna face like PCO and Cobra Man. Why can't I think of his name for some reason?
Santino?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. But I mean, then I was looking at this match too, the same match, and I just realized the combined age of both of them is over 100.
Yeah, no shit. PCO's like 60.
And Bully Ray's like 52.
Yeah.
So it's like, for the fact that these two at this age can still go like that, boggles my mind too.
Yeah, let it happen. PCO's a legend. That guy's straight up doing like moonsaults and shit.
Yeah, like, can you imagine doing a moonsault? Can you imagine your dad?
Tommy Dreamer went up for a moonsault, okay?
Like, picture it this way. Can you imagine your dad or my dad doing a moonsault?
No. I'm surprised if my dad or your dad can pour the salt.
I'd love to see. Maybe Tony can.
No. Maybe if he drinks enough.
He drinks enough. Tony can do it.
Classic.
I could see at least Tony attempt it.
Oh, yeah.
Off the dock into the lake.
Injury.
Flip-flops everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we're doing it.
But PCO goes over. Hopefully the story's done. If not, at least let PCO continue the wins, right? So with that, we're going to go into the Impact World Tag Team Championship match of the Rascalz defending the championships against Motor City Machine Guns. I'm surprised that the Guns are still in the tag team picture. I thought maybe Shelly would have been like...
I like that they did this. It's very smart. They should continue to do this. I don't like when you break up tag teams. They can be a tag team and still wrestle individually.
Yeah.
It's two different divisions of wrestling.
It
right?
is.
It's like having a trios. You can have a trio where two of them are tag team partners and one of them's a singles wrestler. They don't always have to wrestle as a trio.
Wasn't Pac the All Atlantic when they were trios champs as well? He had two belts at one time, right? Double belt. There's nothing wrong with double belt.
Cassidy is a single champion when he trios with the best friends. I'll say the good friends.
The good friends. They're not that great friends, you know. They're just good friends.
They're just good friends. Give the people what they want. But yeah, I just don't understand that. I think this match was good.
It's always nice to see the Guns as well because we don't know how much time they got, they got left.
And they wrestled really well. This was an excellent. This was match of the night for me.
It was. I agree.
This was so good, but I think the match should have ended storytelling wise. Okay, when there's a spot where they do a belt fake out to get the referee, and then Wentz hits him with that was second. First, Miguel comes in with the belt. The ref goes after him, and while he's doing it, Wentz comes in and hits
with the other belt.
Not Alex Shelley.
Chris Sabin
with the belt. That should have ended it right there because that would have been like, oh, they cheated to win. That's the only way they're beating Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
But what happened was they let the match keep dragging out, and then just got a surprise roll up win. Like what?
Yeah. If they would have ended it there, you would have done so much for the Rascalz at that point too. You would have put them over huge.
Yeah, because not only did they win, they won by cheating too, which makes the Machine Guns look good, and that just is what it is.
But this was match of the night for me as well. Like, I mean, the Rascalz too, they were holding their own with the Guns. They were keeping pace with them. Like, it was really, really good. Like, it was fast paced. It was there was never a break in the action. You know what I mean? Like when they had what's his name? When they had Wentz in the corner there, and one guy's doing the dragon screw on the outside while Shelley's doing the dragon leg screw on the inside, kind of thing, and really working like tandem wrestling. Like
it was such a good combination of wrestlers here, and I'm still shocked at the subculture loss already.
Yeah, and they're nowhere to be found now.
But yeah, I mean,
I think Danny Luna's got a match coming up.
We'll see, but I think that the Rascalz are looking really good.
Yeah.
I want to see them. I want to see them enter a feud with Ace and Bay. I think that's where we're gonna go. Trey Miguel, his match work lately, especially in this one specifically, he looks, and not just actually, because he kind of actually does look. That's not why I'm saying this, but he looks like young Prince Devitt. Like he looks like Finn Balor.
The way he moves,
in the early days, the way that he wrestles the match, especially when he became kind of heelish. I think that there has a lot of that.
I think there's big plans for Trey Miguel. Like there's huge plans. Like he's been like in the last year, he's been pushed to the moon. He's had that run with the X Division champ. Now he's tag team champ. I think eventually this is going to build to a feud between Trey Miguel and Alex Shelley for the belt.
And rightfully so. Even if it's not with him and it comes somewhere down the line, it's good because I think that they're going to use him as much as they possibly can before he expires and goes somewhere to make big money. Because that's what's going to happen.
Well, former member of the Rascalz, Wes Lee in NXT, he was part of that trio as well.
I think that Wentz also got signed to NXT and then got
he was Nash Carter and then got released. Yeah, he had some allegedly, they're saying now it was false accusations played against him. And once you have any type of those type of accusations against you, whether they're real or not, you're done.
Yeah,
like you're done.
He's also Mrs. Gigi Dolan. So
yes, he is. I'd say that's a trade up from Kimberly.
Yeah, it's a huge trade up.
But I mean, the Rascalz look good. I think Trey Miguel is going to be posed for a world title run soon. Have him go a few months with the belt, and then have what's his name, Alexander, come back and reclaim his title. So
there you go. I'm okay. I like what you just said.
There we go. See, Scott, call me. You know me now. We're buddies.
You saw me that one time, remember?
But with that, we're going to go into our co-main event. It's the match for the Women's Impact Knockouts World Championship between Trinity against Alisha Edwards. This was random. Why is Alisha Edwards there? Not saying that she was bad in this match, but
no. Okay, so we'll break that down more. But I like we said when we talked about this, I don't understand the logic of why this is happening.
Was it just fodder for Trinity to pad wins to her on her championship?
I don't know because I don't understand the storyline they're telling or why they're telling it, and I don't know why you thought it was a good choice to put her when you know that she's not going to beat Trinity.
That's what I think it was. I think it was just fodder for Trinity to pad the wins, because clearly this was a match to set up Alisha and Eddie Edwards against Kazarian and Tracy Brooks, because that's literally what happens. But I mean, it wasn't, don't get me wrong though, it wasn't a bad match. Like Trinity looked okay in this match, and Alisha Edwards too. Like we don't see her too much in the ring, but she held her own. Like she's no great talent, but she was okay in this match too. It was just an okay match. But there was that spot like you were talking about earlier. Again, Trinity goes for that frog splash off the outside and the table doesn't break.
Yeah.
And then she had to try it again to break the table.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for a full breakdown here.
Sure. Full putty.
By the way, I was just checking my notes here because I did legitimately have a lot to say about this match. So, Alisha, right?
Alisha, yeah, whatever.
Is it Alisha or Alisha? Because they kept saying Alisha.
Could be either. Alisha, however you want to pronounce it.
Who cares? The Eddie freaking thing's wife. What's his name?
Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards. It's the same name twice. Anyways,
it is actually.
She out wrestled Trinity to a degree that is almost unimaginable. This is your world champion, someone you came in and you pushed to the moon and got out wrestled by someone who hasn't actually had a wrestling match in like years.
Yeah.
Okay. She literally put the screws to her, and not just in a we wrote the
play-by-play.
We wrote the choreography to be this way. She actually ridiculously out wrestled Trinity and like had 0 botches. Everything looked so good. Okay, Trinity is like the clunkiest wrestler I've seen. Like, I don't know. I slowly, it's like getting worse for me.
She's clumsy.
Okay, her frog splash wasn't even a frog splash. She just jumped with her arms out.
Yeah.
And it's why, okay, I don't mean this because she's a woman or anything. And you set up Eddie Edwards on the table. Why wouldn't you plan for her to do like an ass drop or like a swanton or something where she lands ass first instead of putting your champion stomach first off the top rope through a table? She looked like she got hurt.
I was gonna say she clearly got hurt in that match, like in that part.
She's not the type of wrestler to do stuff like that. So you can't like jumping stomach first through something, you're breaking your ribs, something is gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen, yeah.
And especially you're landing on top of like rock hard Juice Edwards. And it's like I just didn't understand that spot. Like she could have did like just I don't know what it's called when you jump like this and land with your ass on them, because it's not a swanton.
Oh, it's the senton.
Yeah, there you go.
She could have done a senton, yeah.
And she should have
like
just
the
did
Kevin
that.
Owens move when he does
yeah. Because that way you would have landed with your ass on him, and it would have broke the table, and you wouldn't have hurt yourself.
Yeah. But I don't know. But to be fair, though, Alisha Edwards was trained by Bobby Roode.
To be fair, though, she's in. I watched her do kind of wrestling stuff in I think they had the mixed tag match.
Yeah,
and then like her stuff outside, and then the match I saw where she won the number 1 contender thing,
the battle royal there. Yeah,
she was not good in any of those.
Yeah,
the way that she wrestled in this match was like on another fucking level.
I don't know. Sometimes they have that one great match, you know?
It's so crazy to me.
Yeah. But it's true though. Like it's very true. And like I said, you had 0 belief that Trinity was losing this match too. That's the thing. Even though she literally was completely out wrestled. But Trinity does go over. This one was a little bit shorter. This was 9 minutes. So they kept this one a little shorter, mercifully.
But, I mean, I didn't really notice it because there was so much going on.
Yeah, the whole thing with Tracy Brooks and Kazarian, which they're having that match at 1,000.
Everything after the Perazo match, it stopped feeling short, even if they were short.
Yeah, it felt like proper storytelling matches. Yeah. So with that, we're going to our main event, which was the longest match of the night, which was Josh Alexander and Steve Macklin putting an end to this feud as well.
This match way overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, it lasted a little too long, even though Burt Macklin is starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yes. So this is the thing. He's fine. And we all know Alexander can go. Yeah. Jason Alexander.
Burt Macklin.
Summer of George. That's it. Burt Macklin and Jason Alexander. No, but we know he can go.
Parks and Rec Seinfeld crossover. We never knew we wanted.
We never knew we wanted it. But it's I don't know. He just wrestled really boring.
Josh or Steve?
Okay. And most of the match was this story of
the
Steve
tricep
working on the tricep.
Yeah.
And it was like really slow paced outside the ring, hitting his arm on things. Yeah. And it's like, okay, like
the actual in-ring work was really good though.
Technically from like a choreography aspect, yes, I agree. But I think the story being told was so boring and the match was so overly long that
whereas this match suffered from too long of a match as opposed to,
and that's like the juxtaposition here of like, oh look, all the matches are short. Wow, what the hell is happening now?
Yeah. And again, like the Perazo match, this match could have benefited from the title.
Yeah, and I don't know. It felt like I would have rather had the tag team match as the main event.
But see, the thing is, because Josh isn't a heel, they're trying to push Josh as this white meat baby face that he won't. Both of them just came back. They both just came back from injuries, pretty serious injuries too. So it's like, why wouldn't Josh work on Steve's injury too? Right? Like,
Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
what a
know.
methodical wrestler does.
I think once again, and this is not like I think they're bad or anything.
No, it was a good
Um,
match.
Impact has this issue of kayfabe where they're
Hmm.
the only company, like other than WWE, that's so deeply rooted in kayfabe to the point where it's like
They
we
had to
keep up
tell the
these
story about how
ridiculous,
Eric Young came back from the dead.
yeah, and it's like the white meat baby face stuff. Like you don't need that. You can be a baby face wrestler and still target someone's weakness. That's
Yeah.
what fighting is about. Do you
Bret
think the
Hart as a
the
baby
UFC
face did
wrestlers are
that
like,
all the
no?
time. But
Yeah,
even
but
Bret Hart did that all the time as a baby
Ric
face.
Flair did that all the time, even when he was a baby face. It's
Yeah.
like that's the whole point of wrestling. Why would I not? Am I trying not to win?
Expose a
Like,
weakness. But
and
yeah,
it's like when you're playing any sport, if you're playing hockey and the other team has a weak left side, you're not going to keep attacking up the left side. That's
you're gonna
literally what
expose
you're
it.
supposed to do. Yeah, it's like I don't
Or
get it.
if you know the defenseman has a weak, shot, you're gonna try to like
And
get the puck. Yeah.
I do not believe in this type of storytelling. This is why I have big issues with caring about stories in wrestling. It's because
Yeah.
of stuff like this, where I can watch New Japan. All I need to know is this guy doesn't like this guy, or this is for this belt.
Yeah.
Or hey, look, it's two of the best wrestlers ever, and we're gonna watch them fight.
And we're gonna exactly. But I mean, Josh goes over as he should. They're trying to rebuild Josh back to that main event picture. And that main event group now is getting pretty stacked. Like they got some good names up there now.
Yeah, and I mean I like the roster. I like a
Yeah.
lot of the in-ring stuff that they're doing. I like a lot of the matches they're putting on.
There's
I
just
just
something lacking with the storytelling. They're trying to find
no.
that missing.
It's too much kayfabe,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not enough using the young talent you have and trying to put all the biggest names on all of your pay-per-views always, where sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
just let them ride. Like the Ricky Starks of the world,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to let them have a shot. The Jack Perry's, right? The
Yeah.
Darby Allins. We don't need to see Chris Jericho every single time.
It's not, and on Impact, it's the Bupinders, it's the Uemuras, it's the
Yeah.
Joe Henrys. It's like, it's
To Trey Miguel's, well, he's getting there,
yeah.
right?
Miguel's
But
getting there. They're really high on him.
but there's a few big people, and we need to see more of them and less of Tommy Dreamers and Bubba Rays.
Yeah.
Given the situation, right? Like
Right,
I don't need PCO to wrestle 6 times a week where he's doing swantons and backflips.
Yeah.
And
Bring these guys out for like your special events, like a Bound for Glory, like a Slammiversary, or like a special episode. But like, they don't have to be like, or if you're doing the pay-per-views as opposed to the TV specials, bring them out for the pay-per-view, but not for the TV specials. Use like last week was Emergence, and Emergence was a TV special. Use your up and coming talent for those shows with a good main event, and then use your
exactly, right? Because like, what was the main event at Emergence?
I can't even remember now.
Wow.
Tell you in a
Okay,
sec. I have it written down.
Okay, I'll let you look it up.
Yeah.
But you could have did that whole card as what you like. They're having the Rascalz win.
Perazo versus Trinity.
Yeah, you could have had Perazo versus Trinity and the Sonata match, and let that carry your entire rest of your card.
Yeah.
Right, and you could have put on the show with all the young guys, and then had this pay-per-view for everybody else.
But you also but then again, on that card, you had Kaz versus Edwards. You had Jake something against Sonata. Like
Sonata could stay.
Yeah.
Kaz didn't.
I'm never
going to
say no to Sonata.
And stuff like that. But
yeah. But like the subculture versus the Rascalz, that was perfect for Emergence.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need, and it led to this. It told a story to go to this pay-per-view.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, final score. We already mentioned our match of the night, which was the Guns versus the Rascalz. There's no denying that. What would you score this show?
I'm gonna give you my general cop out. I had a really good time score of 7.5.
7.5. I'm actually right there with you. I said the exact same thing. 7.5. You actually called it at the beginning of the show. And no, we did not discuss this before the show.
We literally didn't, like, at all.
Like I just got home from work and we're recording this, so it's like.
But it generally just felt like a really fun pay-per-view that had all good matches. It just was missing something to put it over the edge to be like a great.
If this had that one thing that could have been missing from it, this could have easily been an 8-8-1.
Yeah, a couple little bit of longer matches and some better in-ring stories. and I think you could have did really big things here.
So like we said, this could be the year. This could be the year of it. Impact is really making some big strides.
It already is. I don't at this point I don't think they can fall apart.
No,
like even if they do, they've already done enough.
They've solidified themselves as the number 3 in North America.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they're not taking that away. AEW clearly took over number 2, and I think Impact is fine with that. You know, we got some big names, but we want to make it feel like a really good indie kind of thing. You know what I mean?
All I want from Impact is to stay the way it is. And in the case of like Victory Road or like
Bound
the big
Glory,
3, Bound for Glory, Slammiversary, maybe find slightly bigger venues for those, like those college stadiums that have like 8,000 seats.
Yeah. Because they could sell it out.
Yeah. And give that kind of big
match
wrestling
feel.
Event vibe. Yeah, like I want that from those ones, and the rest of them keep them small, like how you're doing it. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, like those, like the one they like Emergence was perfect. It felt like a fun show, right? So
yeah.
All right, so with that, that's it for the reviews for this week. Tune in next week. Next week we will have our review of Impact 1000, and we will have our monthly state next week. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, follow the Discord server, follow me on Instagram. I have links to all my stuff in my Instagram as well. So if you follow that, you get notified whenever there's a new video drop. We got some good reviews coming out. NXT No Mercy is coming up within a few weeks. We got AEW's brand new pay-per-view of Wrestle Dream, featuring Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre Jr. as one of the matches. Finally, we're getting that match. Fastlane's coming up. Bound for Glory is coming up. So Bound for Glory is going to feature Will Ospreay. So, you know, it's going to be a good couple months. So make sure you're tuned into the channel for that. Thank you once again. Make sure you, like I said, you are subscribed so you know when we drop these videos. And with that out of the way, in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.